So I think. Hold on, I'm gonna save state here. If you finish him off. That's one ending. And I think there is there 3 endings to this? I know that if you finish him off, I mean, if you don't finish him off, then you go into the regular ending. And if you finish him off, I think you get the ending where everybody So I think this is the ending where your party gets trapped here for all of eternity in this world, like outside of time. Actually, this is the ending I was thinking you get if you don't recruit everybody. I'm reading here in this walkthrough that if you haven't met all 7 endings, you get it just stops and you get the ending. You get a repeat of the credit sequence from the Heroes chapter. So what I'll do is I'll go and beat the boss again. If it's any different, then I'll put a bonus episode up. If not, then you won't see a bonus episode. If it's worth seeing. I thought there was only 2. Like, I thought this. My memory is messed up, man. Gideon Z, whatever. He's like the main guy behind Aeon Genesis. He is the one that did the what is it? The SMT ones. Like there's several contributors to Aeon Genesis, I think, but he's like the main one. And time spun forever and ever. So, like I said, bad end, or sad end, whatever. What you're supposed to do is tell him no. Nope, we're good, bye. And you go back to the statue room. And this is why you want everybody to have equipment. Because guess what? We're going to do ourselves a Mega Man boss rush. Seven Robot Masters. The meaning of Odio! I think... Like, Odio is a real word. It's not just something they made up. It's Spanish for hate, I think. and arrows of war. I want to say that the I don't remember if the statues change positions. I think they do. I think your main character is always in the middle. So. Don't you dare. And I like this, like you get like 7. Get 7 battle transitions. Let's do our boss rush here. Booyah! And the bosses are slightly different. Like, for example, I think I want to say they have a little more hit points, but I know that like Cubes doesn't have his little healing buddies, and he's stuck in the form. He starts the battle in the form, like if you do info research on him. But yeah, the reason I don't have any equipment on Akira is because he fights in his robot. He doesn't need it. Behold! Anytime someone says behold, my mind immediately goes to Skies of Arcadia to the ultimate like special move of the main character. He like swings his cutlass down and he goes, behold! And then he like runs forward, he's like, Pirate's Wrath! So even though you have these extra party members and stuff in these scenes here, these are one-on-one battles. So oh, and anytime you lose any of these battles, the Armageddon ending happens that I showed you before. That sprite just looks so derpy. He looks like a robot or a guy wearing armor. I hope you don't mind that I'm going through this a little quickly, because we've already seen all this. You slaughtered them! Every time I see this scene, I think of G Gundam. Yep, wasted him. Wasted all your guys, too. And then I'm gonna turn you into a horse? Magic horse? Ghost horse? Foolish child. Going to step over here and Maser Cannon. We'll probably kill him with anti-field, to be honest. Star shot! And that's over. Pretty easy. And we want to do Babylon Kick. I think the damage values are like super higher for this battle. And I feel like the bosses also have less in the way of hit points. So we'll just use Blade of Wind here. Actually, let's try Bronze Leaf. Yeah, the bosses definitely have way less hit points. We don't want to be diagonal from the boss. We want to be right here. And we just want to smack him once. Smack him again. Let me think. This. Actually, I think I'm going to use the medicine box once or twice to get my stats up. There we go. See how much Bash Bash does. There we go. That's fine. Alright, here, and... yeah. Don't stand diagonal. Don't stand diagonal. And Neo Shot Storm's probably the way to go here. Should kill him before he even gets close to me. And that's that. I find it interesting that they use the regular battle theme for each chapter instead of the boss. I'm trying to think. It's what it's called, Megalomania boss theme, which is the boss theme throughout the rest of the game for these battles. And that line right there is different depending on what character you have. I do know that Oboro actually has two, maybe three different things he'll say. I think what he says depends on. I know he says something different if you go pacifist and if you kill people, but I think he also says something if you like kill everybody, like all 100 people. I've never actually done the full kill in his chapter because it's so irritating. But I think, like, depending on which way you finish his chapter, his dialogue is different. Time to go home. I'm sitting here wondering why it's so freaking cold and there's a breeze. I got my window open. Unfortunately, in the part of Texas I live, it can't make up its mind like whether it wants to be hot or cold. So in the daytime, it'll be 80, 90 degrees, and at nighttime, it'll get down to like 30, 40. And it's like, make up your mind. Because a big part of, like, if you ever have heated, if you've never had to like heat a house without like central heat and air, a big part of it is like getting it warm, and like it's like basically inertia. You once you get it warm, you have to keep it warm. You don't open doors, you don't open windows. But if it's hot during the day, you can't really do that. But anyway, this has been Live a Live. I really like this game a lot. It's become one of my favorite RPG entries on the Super Nintendo. Partly because it's so short, I think. Like, as I get older and I have less and less free time, I have really come to appreciate games that are not 60, 70, 80, 100, 200 hours long. But I also really enjoy the diversity of this game. Like every game has different story, different main characters, different tones. And here we have a little baby Pogo. Goro been getting busy. One last laugh. This music is also pretty soothing. I really like that effect in the background with the mesas and stuff, or plateaus. Are those plateaus or mesas? I think those. I'm not I think those are. That's actually a good question. I don't know. Like, I just really like this game, you know? The music's good, the story is, while basic, I think they do really well propping it up with, like, cliches and stuff you would find, or tropes you would find in all kinds of different media. Like, everybody knows what happens in a Western. Everybody, you know, you can kind of, your mind can fill in the blanks. And, I don't know. This game just feels really. I don't want to use the phrase indie, but I think I am. It feels like it's got a lot of like low budget heart to it, like that you would find in something like Stardew Valley or like early Minecraft before it got super freaking huge. Well, bye, Taro. Teaching a bunch of youngsters how to do like a spinning tornado, like death kick. So, overall, this game came out right around the same time as Final Fantasy VI, I think. Final Fantasy VI came out in 1994. And Live Live came out in February of 1994, September 94. So this came out a few months after Final Fantasy VI, apparently. And like I said, it's just got that feel of like a small budget, but lots of heart game. And it doesn't suffer from a lot of the problems that, like, say, the Saga games suffer from, where they feel not finished. Like, I think that's a major problem with a lot of Square Soft's like non-Final Fantasy series. I don't know. I don't think it's really a thing that's transferred over into Square Enix, but Square Enix really doesn't do. I mean, they do what? They basically do Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, and then they'll publish like other games or whatever. You know, they don't. I can't think off the top of my head. So since 2003, what have they done? Like, that's different. I mean, they've done a couple of Mana games. Front Mission. Let me think. Final Fantasy. Dragon Quest. Like, I'm looking at this list of games they've done, and pretty much with the exception of the Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy stuff, like, pretty much everything on this list feels like, from what I played, feels really kind of unfinished in a way. And I really, as someone that has had a hard time getting into like the Super Nintendo Saga games, Romancing Saga, Romancing Saga 2, Romancing Saga 3, this song, by the way, kicks a lot of butt. It's really good. And I like the running into the sunset thing they got going on there. There's just a lot to recommend about this game. And I really like this song because it it weaves in. It reminds me a lot of the final battle theme for Bravely Default, because if you've never listened to that, Bravely Default, like, music is very important in that game. If you've never played it, I'm just going to tell you, music is very important in that game. And in the final battle theme is scripted to where when you start winning, it weaves in the themes for the main characters. And it is the most epic thing ever. And I get kind of the same vibe here, because you've got this the song they're playing, but they're kind of giving like remixes of all the main characters' themes. Like I said, I feel like this game has a lot of heart, and I don't have really much more to say about it. It's a simple little game. It's fairly straightforward, not long at all. Like, I don't know, it took me 4 hours to beat the last chapter, but I could have beaten it a lot sooner if I didn't do absolutely every single thing. Like, to get the best ending, all you have to do is just recruit everybody. You don't have to do the dungeons. So you could, like, skip out on, like, the strength dungeon, or just the dungeons of the characters you're not using. It'd be fine. I had a really good fight against the final boss, too. Like, the final boss will either be incredibly easy, or he will absolutely murder your face. One of the two. He can be very difficult, but I had a good fight there, so it was all right. And at the end of the game here, you get a little bit of art for the character that you picked. And that's Live a Live. I'll see you guys next LP. Not sure what I'm going to play yet, but I'll think of something.